Welcome to the channel Secretos de Sabrosura. Good afternoon, good night, good evening, morning, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the destruction of the world we know, which will occur in 2312. As I said in a previous video, they have invented us a lot of centuries, and today we have calculated that we are behind 300 years, and that's why the Maya calendar, which was forecasted to end in 2012, nothing happened. But it will happen in 2312. What I'm going to discuss today is something that it's a big coincidence. So big that I'm still astonished to it. In fact, you will not find it in a Tanak which is written in English, neither written in Hebrew or any other language except Spanish. If we go to a moment to the chart I have here on my right, we have that in the Jewish year 5773, which is supposed to be the end of the Maya calendar in 2012, we have two verses. That is from the book of Deuteronomy 32, chapter 32, 14, which says, "The cream of cattle and the milk of sheep, with the fat of lambs and rams of Bashan, and he-goats with kidneys of wheat, and the congregation of Israel would drink the blood and of grapes which was as the finest wine." And then the next year, there will be the Jewish year 5774, which will be Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15, and it says, "And Jeshurun became fat and rebelled. You grew fat, thick, and rotund, forsook the God who made them, and spurned the mighty rock of their salvation." What was going to happen is the following. We have in 2312, which will be the Jewish year 6076, which will be the destruction of the world by the hand of Joshua. And it says that Joshua will ask that the moon stands still and the sun stands still. So that means the earth will be in one place for a whole day. With the consequence, with the gravity and the inertia, it will bring all the mountains and the waters, keep spinning and destroying and killing. That's what is going to happen here. What this video today will show you is who will be this person called Joshua. Yeah, what's happening today, and the key word to know who is this Joshua is the word Jeshurun, which will be in Jewish, or Jeshurun spelled out in Spanish. Now, this word Jeshurun, we find it in 4 places in the Bible. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, 15, as I just said. Chapter 33, verse 5. Chapter 33, verse 26. And in the book of Isaiah, chapter 44, verse 2. The key, what's going to happen between 2012 and 2312, the key is Jeshurun. Who is Jeshurun, or who are Jeshurun? I'm going to show you also that certain things is going to happen is not only because of a group of persons, but what they are doing to an institution which is in the United States of America. If we take the verse for this year, which is the Jewish year 5778, which is Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 20, we have, and he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be, for they are a generation of changes. They are not recognizable as my children who I have reared. Now, that verse is very important because it has to do with this institution that is called in the Bible Yeshurun. Now, the meaning of Yeshurun are several: the noblest and the best of the people. Some related to that it has root in the word of Yashar, like in the book of Yashar. Some say it is to be right, upright, or to be righteous. There's one particular institution in the United States of America which complies with the definition of Yeshurun and also with the verses in Deuteronomy 33 and Deuteronomy 32 and in Isaiah 44. If we read chapter 33 verse 2 of Deuteronomy, we have, chapter 32 verse 5, we have, and he was king in Yeshurun whenever the sum total of the people were gathered and the tribes of Israel were together. In Deuteronomy 33 verse 26 we have, Yeshurun, there is none like your God. He who rides the heavens is at your assistance. Very fast. And with his majesty he rides the sky. The next verse says, Deuteronomy 33 chapter 33 verse 27 says, which are the abode for the God who precedes all and below are the mighty ones of the world. He expelled the enemy from before you and said, destroy. And then the other most important verse, which is in Isaiah chapter 44 verse 2 says, so said the Lord your Maker, and he who formed you from the womb shall aid you. Fear not, my servant Jacob, and Yeshurun, whom I have chosen. That's one point which alludes to one institution that teaches practical Kabbalah in the United States. They have a very low profile. Almost nobody knows them, which is called the Rosicrucian Order of the Amorc. Now, the Rosicrucian Amorc, many of its members and other governmental institutions from the government of the United States of America, they have prepared for the destruction in 2012. And if we continue to read in the following years what happened between 2012-2018, coming today, verse by verse, we have, they provoked his zeal with alien worship. They made him angry with abomination deeds. They sacrificed to demons which have no power, deities they did not know, new things that only recently came, which your forefathers did not fear. You forgot the mighty rock who bore you. You forgot the God who delivered you. And the Lord saw this and became very angry, provoked by his sons and daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be. For they are a generation of changes. They are not recognizable as my children whom I have reared. And in verse 21, and further, they have provoked my jealousy with a non-God, provoked my anger with their vanities. Thus I will provoke their jealousy with a non-people, provoke their anger with a foolish nation. For a fire blazed in my wrath and burned to the lowest depth. It consumed the land and its produce, setting aflame the foundations of mountains. I will link evils upon them. I will use up my arrows on them. They will sprout hair from famine, attacked by demons, exercised by Merili. I will incite the teeth of livestock upon them, with the venom of creatures that slither in the dust. From outside the sword will be reaved, and terror from within. Young men and maidens, suckling babes, were with venerable elders. I said I would make an end of them, eradicate their remembrance from mankind. Were it not the enemy's wrath was heaped up, lest their adversaries destroyed, lest they claim our hand was triumphant. The Lord did none of this. For they are a nation devoid of counsel, and they have no understanding. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would reflect upon their fate. How can one person pursue 1,000, and two put 10,000 to flight, unless their mighty rock has sold them out, and the Lord has given them over? For their rock is not like our rock. Nevertheless, our enemies sit in judgment. This is what's going to happen the next 10 years after 2018. And it all reflects the United States of America. Actually, when we go to Joshua, if you excuse me a moment, we go to the book of Joshua, chapter 10, verse 10, we have the following. And the Lord confused them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon. And they chased them by the way that goes up to Beth Horon, and smote them to Azekah and to Makkedah. Now, in Spanish, you would write Azekah and Masada, the same word, which in English they will write it Azekah and to Makkedah. However, they are very close to the word Azteca, Aztecs, and the inhabitants, the Indian population that is in Oaxaca, around Oaxaca, Mexico, called the Mazateca. Even afterwards, the 2012, when the world stands still, the sun and the moon, Joshua kills the chief or the king of the Masada, or from the Mazatec. It's a big coincidence, but so big that in fact other people who has the knowledge and to see the future through the Akasha Chronicles or other ways, mentally, they have foreseen there will be around this time only 5 persons alive. And these persons that are alive will be, or the 5 persons that will be alive, they are very important, which are the chiefs in those days, which will be the President of the United States of America, the President of the Congress, the Grand Master of the Masonic Lodge, a general, and the Pope from the Vatican. And Joshua will come from Canada because of the merit of Rabbi Michael Schober, and he will battle them after 2012, and he will destroy them. Because if we read in the book of Joshua, what's going to happen after this period is that they will find them in Macedon. They will be hiding in Mexico. And he will block their way out of that cave. And we read also in Joshua that the king of Israel is somebody else. So Joshua will not be in Europe or in the Middle East. Joshua will be in North America. And why I'm saying Yeshurun is very important, Yeshurun alludes to the order of the Rosicrucians of Amor. Many people don't know this, but the Rosicrucian order of Amor is the most wonderful and powerful esoteric institution in the world. And that's why the scripture says They went and choose other gods, demons. What happened is this, some 15 years ago, the Rosicrucian order moved from America to Canada, the French side of the Canada. However, the government of the United States induced the French government to put certain laws to prohibit the Rosicrucians on French soil, on French territory, together. So they have to come back to San Jose, California, like a dog with a tail between their two legs, till today. And what we know is this: what they have in California, and believe me, for 50% of the United States of America, it's only Satanism, it's only demons, it's only witchcraft, it's only bad things. That's why the Rosicrucian order decided to move out of the United States. However, the government of the United States know their power. They, through the French government, obliged them to come back. It's overall in the internet, on YouTube, you can read, you can listen to declaration of members of the armor that says that the armor helps the United States government manipulating the minds of other presidents, of other monarchies, whatever it is. And they've been doing it for 100 years. However, the government of above, which is a spiritual government, won't tolerate this. And the knowledge gathered by the new members is not the same knowledge that their members of 30 years ago gathered. And that is the big problem that we're going to have in the future. And if you read good, from now on, they talk about their rock is not the same thing as your rock of salvation. Means they are using a lot of talisman, they're using a lot of amulets, they're using a lot of things that contains demons and spirits. And with that, induce people to see their films, induce people to believe them as they are invincible, that they are the guys, they know it all, without being true. Many people, thanks to God, don't know, people like my person, that we can see the future. We can tell your future with point and comma, exactly what's going to happen, either through your lifeline or either through the Akashic records. And this coincidence that I've presented with the word of Aseka and Maseka is not just a coincidence. Sometimes God talks to us through the Bible, talks to us through books. We encounter things that no other way we would have encountered. It happens. If you're the chosen person to do that, it will occur to you. Or you get a hint, hey, this is not right what you're telling me, it's this thing is the better understanding. For now, I apologize my English. I apologize, let's say, the bitterness of story I told. I apologize to many good Americans who live in the United States of America. However, this is the truth. The destruction of America as we know it will come from Canada in 2013. In fact, if you read the book of Joshua since the beginning, after the death of Moses, it will happen. Thank you very much. If you like this video, give me a like. If you don't, give me a dislike. God bless you. Till next time.